In the last class, we have seen the concept of process control block, that is PCB. Today we'll see how the CPU switch from process to process, that is with the help of this process control block. So let us look at this particular diagram. So here we have process P0, process P1 and the operating system. So we'll see that how the operating system switches from P0 to P1 and then back to P0 again. So initially, if you see, the process P0 is in execution. This particular part is showing P0 is in execution. Now at this particular point shown by this green arrow, there is an interrupt from the operating system. So when there is an interrupt, the process P0 will be halted. There is also a possibility that the process contains an input output instruction, and for that it must be switched from the CPU to the input output. So there may be a system call for input output. So there are two possibilities. One, there can be an interrupt, or there can be a system call for input output operation. So in both the cases, the process P0 will be halted. So we see that this particular point, if we go and see, in this case, this first rectangular box shows that save the state into PCB0. So we see that the current state of the process P0, because it has been halted at a particular point without completion, its current state is saved onto the PCB0, that is the process control block 0, and then it takes some amount of time to save that content, and then if we see that this particular red arrow, we see that for the process P1 the operating system is reloading the process control block of the process 1. Here 1 means for process 1 and 0 means for process 0. Now if you see, once it has been reloaded, the states of the process P1, it will be executing. So from this red arrow to this red arrow, the process P1 is in execution. Again, like the previous case where there was an interrupt, if you have seen, there's an interrupt or system call. An interrupt or system call can be there for process P1 also. So when there is an interrupt or a system call for input output operation for the process P1, the same step is repeated. The current state, because P1 has not completed its execution, so P1 will be saving the state into PCB1. So once it has saved it in the state into PCB1, it will take some time. Then if you see at this particular point, this second green arrow, the PCB0 which was saved at this particular point is reloaded. So PCB0 which was saved at this particular point is reloaded at this particular point, and now P0 can continue its execution. During this entire operation, if you see, from this point to this point, because P0 was not executing, so it was in idle state. Only when the PCB0 of P0 is loaded, then it starts the execution. So this is how the CPU switches from one process to another process with the help of PCB. So that's all for now. Thank you.